Hello. During this video, I'd like to explain my circumstances in relation to benzodiazepine recovery. My medication was Xanax, and also what I have learned through years of research, trials, and self-study about anxiety and the processes within the brain. On this channel, I'll discuss supplement reviews and medication reviews, things that have helped me, things that have made things worse, to give you an overall guide that will hopefully help you through your depression, your anxiety, or your withdrawal, which I've gone through all. So first of all, I started Xanax in 2008. I was suffering through panic attacks, kind of all of a sudden. I was driving home one night and started having a panic attack. I was in college. Actually, I had just graduated college at the time. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I called the 911. They came and picked me up, or came to where I was. I didn't have health insurance. They assured me I was suffering from panic attack. And they started getting more and more frequent subsequently, and I went to see a doctor, got put on Xanax, which ultimately cured me, or so I thought. And that was really the beginning of that. And in retrospect, now that I've done a lot of inspection into the root causes, I was suffering from anxiety, depression since childhood. And at that point in my life, they started manifesting themselves severely in the form of physical pain and also panic attacks. So the panic attacks were under control via the Xanax, and that stayed that way for quite a few years. And it wasn't until 2011 when I was having a lot of medical problems, and looking back, most of it was related to anxiety. I had gained a lot of weight. I was 200 pounds at the time, and I was a balloon. I didn't really care about my weight. I was in a constant state of anxiety, depression, and after that, I got to a point where I was drunk one night. I tried to kill myself. I hung myself and woke up in a mental institution. Spent a little time there and got out, and I had to make a change. So I moved away, got a new job. My fiance, luckily, she was supportive during all of this, and I wanted a fresh start, so I started over, but I had very, very little, actually zero nutritional sense, zero knowledge of anything outside of what a doctor would tell me, and I was suffering through chronic nausea, chronic headaches, chronic everything. I mean, all kinds of symptoms. I was very tense all the time. So I got a lot of different medications. I was on a lot of stuff at one point, and I was surviving. I had been surviving my whole life, and but when I drank alcohol on the weekends, everything was great with the world. I felt in the moment. I felt alive. So alcohol was definitely an escape for me, but not a healthy escape. And I always knew that in the back of my head, but it's all I had. So I felt that way. Anyway, things were getting rough again, and I started to research it on my own because I started having panic attacks again. The Xanax just wasn't doing it. I started running, I started exercising, I lost some weight, I started cleaning up my diet, gave up the caffeine, gave up a lot of things. I quit smoking, I quit drinking, ended up adopting a Paleolithic lifestyle, which I was like 90% or something. I still cheated here and there. Ultimately, I was doing really well, but for some reason I was always still tired, I still had issues. So I finally went to see a therapist because the psychiatrist was drugging me up. I mean, everything from Prozac to Seroquel, antipsychotics, antidepressants, and I can't tolerate it. I am so sensitive to medications. I mean, I would take the lowest dose and could barely function. Antidepressants made me nauseous and gave me headaches, and made me feel really, really weird. So I didn't know what to really do, and I went to see a therapist. She said, oh, well, basically I had reached a tolerance with my Xanax, and that's what was, my panic attacks were back, because I never treated the underlying cause of the anxiety, which ultimately was the depression. So I had to start a whole new thought pattern here. I needed to figure out what to do, and part of that was living a healthy lifestyle. And I was already there, but I was still so tired, and I had to make a decision whether or not to increase the Xanax or to quit the Xanax. I tried to quit the Xanax cold turkey and ended up in the emergency room with seizures. And at that point realized, oh my God, my life is over, because I started going to benzobuddies.com. I started doing all this research. I became a recluse. I was scared to death of everything and just loaded up on supplements and everything I could think about, everything I could find that could help. I ordered. Luckily, I was able to maintain my employment, which was not easy. I've been working through all this over the years. Not been easy, like I said. So I made the decision to titrate down on my own, probably way too quickly. I was only at probably 1.5 to 2 milligrams of Xanax per day at that point. And within about 6 weeks or so, I think I was completely off, maybe a month. It wasn't long. I was so eager just to get off of it. I wanted it out of my body. I'm not a patient guy, one of the side effects of anxiety. So with that said, I began a new journey. And that journey involved a lot of reading, a lot of research, a lot of looking into the science behind these things. So I've probably read 100 books on it. Everything from Death Grip, which is an amazing book by Matthew Samet, I think. Just a lot of helpful resources out there. And I told myself, oh, well, one day I want to spread the word of how I healed myself through a book, which I'm writing, or videos, which I'm doing. I'm not healed yet. I like to say that I'm halfway back. And I have great windows that they used to only last for seconds. Now I get half days, even whole days, where I feel not 100%, but I don't think about it as much. A lot of the physical symptoms have disappeared. I get little flare-ups here and there when my anxiety goes up, but I'm on the right road, and it took me 8 years to get to this road, and that's the important thing, and that's where I want to try to get you on to. So I think I forgot to say this, I'm 26 months off of Xanax. So, a little bit over 26 months. May 5th is when I gave it up, May 5th, 2014. So, anyway, Xanax can manifest a lot of side effects, from burning skin sensations to post-nasal drip to back pain, headaches, tension, pretty much anywhere. I mean, tension can form anywhere, so it can cause all kinds of problems. Problems I suffered was prostatitis, debilitating bladder pain 24 hours a day, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So that, combined with the headaches and the nausea, and they even took my gallbladder. At 24 years old, I was a wreck. So I'm virtually medication free now. I take some supplements that help me. I do some exercises. I exercise daily, a lot of cardio, healthy diet. So it's not a one simple fix. I mean, you can take a medication and that might drown out a lot of the symptoms of the anxiety. And I'm not saying don't take medication, but I would not recommend taking a benzodiazepine. And I would also say that there are a lot of alternative therapies that are very effective for anxiety and depression. Most doctors don't really embrace that because they have no understanding of those things. They only get force-fed this pharmaceutical sort of approach, and that has become the gold standard for these medications, unfortunately. But real doctors heal people with nutrition, which our bodies can heal themselves if given the opportunity. So this is part 1 of this video. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here, and you can watch part 2, which I'll go a little bit further into what I just talked about. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you subscribe. Thank you.